We're working. We're in the lab, and we're gonna make sure this happens as soon as possible.
Welcome to an episode of the Sports Genes Into the Lab podcast, where sports analysts and experts dissect the latest news from the NBA and NFL, giving you a unique view on some of the hottest topics around your favorite teams. From the fresh field smells of the NFL to the hardwood courts of the NBA, and possibly your comfy couch for your fantasy football team. Let's see what kind of news the lab is working with today. Here's your host from the Sports Analytics headquarters in San Antonio, Texas, Ernest Silva.
All right, we are back. We're in studio. We got everybody online today. I'm in studio solo. Family still recovering. Appreciate all the messages as usual. I'm your host, Ernest Silva. ITL is back. Week 16 in the NFL. Got to get used to it. Crazy this past weekend. If you followed along, hopefully you followed Borak's picks. You didn't follow mine. But we are back, powered by the Sport Gene. That's right. What's in your DNA? Look out for the new logo and the new slogan coming out soon with a lot of swag. Very exciting stuff. We got a show today. We're going to talk contenders, pretenders. We're going to talk some fantasy staggering questions that you somehow limped into the semifinals of your league, or maybe you're in the finals already. We'll attack those. Happy holidays to all those there. But first and foremost, let's talk about the man who has the Texans in the background, Chris Borak. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Texans, Case Keenum, shout out to the Cougs. Led the Texans to an unbelievable victory this weekend. But we'll talk more about that later. Pleasure to be on. Happy to talk some sports.
I appreciate you, Borak. Congrats last week. Top week winner. You're 2 games out of first place from moi, but we are going to talk full standings later. He came week 3. He has not left the show. That is right. That is Chris Connor from the Last Call podcast. What's up, man?
Not much. Although, Ernest, I have a bone to pick with you. You shamed me last week for trying to take the Carolina Panthers, and now after watching this week, I want my pick back. I want an instant replay. I want my pick back. For Christmas is all I want. My pick back for Panthers to win because I was going to pick them, but you shamed me, damn it.
I did shame you. That is my bad. That is my bad. Although they've done you dirty most of the year. So, I mean, I'm not gonna take that back. But if I gave you your Carolina pick back, I'm gonna take my Texans pick back because I felt like I was also haggled for that pick and then told, no, you can't switch. It was a whole ordeal. Just Luke, you're also on the screen. What is up, brother? Glad to have you back.
Hey guys, what's happening? Good to talk some sports with you. Year end is almost fastly and almost done approached, so we're almost there. I am still in the doghouse with the Steelers. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do about it. Can't fix it this year. We'll try to fix it in the draft. I think that's what the Browns used to say. Isn't that right, Ernest?
Circles the toilet bowl like the Cleveland Browns, just Luke. But I will say this. It is good to have you back and focused here. I think last week we called you out and then you jumped on and you were like half upset, half just throwing beef. Your game is the only game I still have no idea who I'm picking. So kudos to us as we go forth in that. But very exciting. The producer is not in studio today, but he is on the screen. Orlando Mendoza is hanging out with us tonight. What's up, Londo? There we go. We got the thumbs up, my man.
What's up, guys? I'm glad to be back on with y'all from home again. And ready to just, kick it, talk some sports. Congratulations to the Texans, by the way. That was a great game. So,
Hell of a game. We're gonna have some fun here, guys. We got to Buzz Lightyear hand wave from Just Luke to help out with Londo's entrance. Very exciting stuff. I see some familiar faces liking and sharing. I appreciate Nonsense of Deep Thoughts podcast. We appreciate y'all. We love our BCMG family and somebody else coming around there. The Holy Man. If you haven't checked out his stream, go check out his stream. We're gonna jump right into it though. Round number 1 has some news from around the NFL, but we are going to go right into our question of the night: contender or pretender? I'm going to list some teams from each conference. We'll go around the room and say contender, pretender. Give me a one-liner as to why. Let's start with the NFC. We'll start with the team that was embarrassed this past weekend, the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, pretender or contender? Go ahead, just Luke.
I mean, the NFC is bad, so we'll just say contender.
All right, contender there for just Luke because the NFC is bad. Borak.
Are we talking about contender for the Super Bowl?
For the Super Bowl.
Oh, pretender. I mean, I'm going to stay with what I've been saying all year.
NFC Championship.
Pretender. I mean, we
I
know
didn't think but I'd ask.
Yeah, if they get there, they could get there. But if they get there against 49ers, you tell me what's going to happen, Ernest.
No, yeah, I completely. If they don't have home field advantage, there's no way they're winning. Londo.
I gotta be on the Cowboy side. It's contenders.
Give me a hell yeah!
Just had to do it for Londo. Londo stood his ground. I appreciate that, buddy. Chris Connor.
It all depends of the Eagles' next 3 games. If the Eagles lose, the Cowboys win out, I'll say contender because they'll have home field advantage at least to the 2nd seed. They'll get at least to the conference championship game. But for now, pretender because I don't trust them on the road.
What? I don't. What does it matter if the Eagles win? I mean,
No, if the Eagles lose one of their next 3 games and the Cowboys win all 3 of their games, the Cowboys get at least number 2 seed for home field advantage.
Right.
I don't think that matters. I know Ernest is in love with beating bad teams at AT&T Stadium, but I don't think it matters in the playoffs.
They've beaten 2 good teams also. I don't understand the shot there. Reg Huggins, the other half of the old men, is saying definitely contenders. I'm with Reg. Definitely contenders, even though they got annihilated by Buffalo. I'll keep my head high. We'll see what happens Christmas Eve. Let's move on to the next one. The Eagles, pretenders for me. Londo.
Nah, man, they're contenders. They're definitely up there. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about them.
If Jalen was healthy for me, it would be contenders, but he's not. Chris Borak.
Man, I'm torn on this one. That defense looks bad right now. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't. They're so beat up that it's hard to call them a contender. I feel bad calling them a pretender because they're right now the 2nd best team in the NFC. But there's something wrong with their offense too. Like they were moving the ball through the air early on in the season, but right now their offense is falling apart and they can't run the ball. So I don't know.
All right, we got a 50-50 contender and pretender. Luke.
Well, I had a deep conversation with my girlfriend's family this weekend regarding the status of the Philadelphia Eagles. And we've come to the conclusion, shout out Josh Elliott, the Philadelphia Eagles are frauds.
There you go. Pretender status.
Frauds.
Q wasn't ready.
Wait. I see what you're saying. At least my computer. I clicked it. So it will cut us off at one point.
A fraud. A big fraud.
No delay there.
Yeah, no, we're a well-oiled machine here. Chris Connor.
Why are they frauds though?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just agreeing. Happy wife, happy life, Boric. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going with pretenders. And you know what? I'll throw a tidbit for you guys here because I did talk to some of my people who cover the NFL for other sites. Howie Rossman was the guy who wanted and insisted that Matt Patricia takes over as defensive coordinator. That wasn't the coach's decision. That was Rossman. That secondary is basically beat up and can't stop anybody. There's something wrong with Hurts. They're not sure, but he's beat up, and that offensive line is getting old. So we saw them against a beat up Seattle team, and the last couple teams have been just running the ball, scoring on them. So yeah, to me they're pretenders, and I think that coaching staff is just ready to kill each other because Howie Roseman insists that, hey, Matt, I had the Super Bowl winning play in the fourth quarter. Patricia is a defensive coordinator.
There you go. All the way around there. We're going to circle back. We have a couple of comments going around. Appreciate, Reg, that you're in here. Keep you coming, Reg. We like to hear those things. Nonsense and deep thoughts that Eagles are falling off the map. The defense is falling apart. Dominic with a question for the panel. We're going to answer the first part, save the second part for the offseason, but we'll log it. Two-part question. What's everyone's favorite NFL team? I can go around the room, but let's just say it out loud. Cowboys for me, Londo.
Cowboys, yeah.
Borak.
Texans.
Luke.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
And Chris Connor.
Kansas City Chiefs.
There you go. You have our 5 panelists here with those teams. We're not going to do the second part. We're not in the offseason yet. We're not even thinking first-round playoffs or anything, but we will later on. Now, our last NFC pretender or contender, and I put those in that order on purpose, is the Detroit Lions. Let's start this around the room. Chris Borak.
I think they're a contender. And I misspoke. I said the Eagles are second best team. I think the Lions are the second best team in the NFC right now. I just think the way that they're built as far as their offensive line, the way they could run the ball and control the clock, they have playmakers on the offensive end, and they have a game wrecker on defense who doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah, I like that take. And just on a side caveat, if you're inputting your fantasy football questions, I see those going in the comments. We will attack them in just a moment, so stick around and find out. Flashback from the past, Graham Simpson saying hi. What's up, my man? It's been a while since we've seen you. Always enjoyed a sports scientist coming back and saying hi. What's up, Graham? Good to see you, buddy. But yeah, stick around. We'll answer those fantasy football questions in just a second. Love that analysis take, Borak. You and I are definitely opposite on the lines. I'll go in a minute. Just Luke, Lions, contenders or pretenders?
I came on here a few weeks ago, talked my shit with the Lions, said Jared Goff is very underrated, but man, it really just depends on what defense shows up to play that day for them. I mean, sometimes it's locked down, and then sometimes it's the opposite. The offense can't get out of white paper bags. So, I don't know. Yeah. That's so hard to me because they're just so wildly inconsistent. And they go on spurts. So it's I think I'm going to slide them in as pretenders for now. But I don't know. That one was my toss-up. It's just hard. They can absolutely be contenders, but they can absolutely 100% be a pretender too. So I'm going to lean on the side of, sorry, Detroit, but pretender status for now.
Yeah, I think that's great analysis. Chris Connor.
Pretenders. I love Dan Campbell. I think they're a fun team. God, that defense scares the crap out of me. They are 20th against the pass, and outside of Aaron Hutchinson and Antonio McNeil, they have no pass rush. That is, they can't get to the quarterback. I argued this with the mock draft guy, and especially also John Vogel. They should have taken Jalen Carter with the 8th pick. They bungled that when they traded down. I know Gibbs been great. I know they're high on Cochran, but they needed another pass rusher. That's what's killing them right now. I think they'll lose in the first round. If they end up matching up with the Rams, who are a bad matchup for them. I think they'll get upset in the first round.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Matt Stafford against that defense?
Every
He'll
time,
have a
every
field day.
time.
Cooper
It's on.
Kupp,
It's on pitch.
First
Nuka?
round.
Yes.
Lions Rams match.
Lions,
The Rams. Wow.
They may
Nonsense
be the
Deep
number
says,
2
I would love nothing
seed.
to the Lions. Make
You guys
playoffs.
are nuts, man.
Yeah, I know, Borak. You're big on the Lions. You're big on the Lions. Londo.
No, I got to be. I think I'm with Bull right here. I think they are contenders. I mean, they did beat KC. Even though it was 1 point, I mean, it's a win.
It was the beginning of the year.
KC without
Win to win.
Kelsey, Chris Jones. I mean, they also lost to the Bears.
Yeah, but they also beat the Bears. I mean, I don't know.
If we're weighing the season on how good the Bears are, then what are we? Okay.
Not doing much.
I love how Chris Connor always points out a team's worst loss of the year, and that sums up their season.
That's the truth. For me, the only so I have Pretender on the Lions, but the only reason I have is because it's very crowded at the top of the NFC. And I think of those top 4, they're number 4. But a lot of their games, in games they shouldn't be, this is what happens.
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Yeah.
There are many games I can point to where the strategy is let the team hang around. And then they lose those games. And and they try to come back at the end and it doesn't work out. And that to me is a trend when you have 3 of those in a year. What were you gonna say, Luke?
Can you give us the last remaining games for each team?
Of those 4, top 4?
Those 3 or 4, yeah.
Oh, of those 4? Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah.
I can get those for you.
The Lions. I'll give you the Lions.
I got the Cowboys, so if you want to read the Lions off for it.
The Lions play at Minnesota this week. Then they play at Dallas, which somebody's going to find out. And then they play Minnesota at home.
So they should be 2-1, can be 3-0.
Maybe Minnesota needs the wins to stay in the playoffs too. So they're going to be this weekend's going to show if Vinny's for real or not to make it.
I mean, if
talk about that
Detroit
later,
wins
though,
out,
we're
they
on
will be
ITL.
the 2 seed.
Ernest, what are the Cowboys?
The Cowboys play the Dolphins Christmas Eve. Then they play the Lions at home where they're undefeated, and then they play the Commanders.
Ugh.
Which
sorry, Dallas.
The Commanders are tanking, so easily 2-1, probably 3-0.
Okay, that's fine. What about the Eagles? Who's got the
I'll
Eagles?
talk about my conspiracy theory on the Dolphins in just a second, but we'll get to that. The Eagles, they have Giants twice,
Easy.
and then they play
Cardinals.
I know that one by heart. The Cardinals, which is probably
So
going to
they
be
should 1000% be 3-0. All right. I don't know. It just kind of depends on the number 1 seed, right? Or number 2.
Well, San Fran gets their loss this week, so they'll move to 10-5, right? Or 11-5. So we'll have to see what happens.
I mean, if they got the 1 wrapped up, they could probably be done. But I don't know. We'll see.
49ers, Ravens, Commanders, Rams. So easily 1 win in there, but the Rams may need that win. So, and if they lose this week, they could go 1-2 to end the year.
Okay.
Yeah, but San Fran plays 2 of those 3 at home. They play Washington on the road.
Yep. Schedule loss. Crazy. Why would they do that to them? Just kidding. We're talking contenders and pretenders here on ITL. If you're just joining us, we appreciate you. We are powered by the Sport Gene. # what's in your DNA. We do have some fantasy questions, so we're going to switch and pivot to that. And we appreciate you waiting. Dylan Fink is in here from YouTube. What's going on, my guy? Says, what's up? Got a bunch of questions. Next round in both my leagues. All the following are just PPR. I appreciate your replies. Let's take a look. What you got for us, Dylan? First off, Flacco at Houston, Stroud versus Cleveland, or Mullins versus Detroit, or DeVito at Philly. That's number 1.
Stroud's out.
Yeah, Stroud's out, so he's gone.
So
Probably lean. For me, I'm leaning Flacco on this group.
yeah.
Unless you believe the Philly defense is that bad at home, and then you go DeVito. Mullins would be my last choice on that one.
Oh, I think Mullins is my top choice. A bad Detroit defense, 20th against the pass. You know that Justin Jefferson's healthy. You know that he can't run, so he will put up points. I think DeVito's going to get killed. I think Flacco's going to be a tough game because Houston's playing with a bug up their ass. They still want to make the playoffs, and nobody's told them, "Oh yeah, you have no chance."
If I want to win, my choice probably is DeVito. I'm just gonna be honest, but Flacco probably has the highest upside. I'm just biased because I think Houston's going to win this week, so I'm biased there. Boric.
So Flacco scored over 21 fantasy points every game he's played the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep.
So he's the safe choice. I
correct.
Do agree with Connor. I may go Mullins here because I think they're going to get down and he's going to have to throw the ball a lot. The thing that scares me about Flacco is he's going to throw picks. So depending on your league scoring, if you get heavily penalized for interceptions.
There you go. Just Luke.
I'm just gonna probably say Flacco. He's like I said, he's averaging over 20, so that's pretty good, decent for a guy that was laying on the couch. So, and let's face it, Houston's beat up on the offensive side of the ball, so they'll figure out. Joe will be fine. Joe will find Amari. If you have Amari, play Amari, but or David Njoku overs. Finally, your time has arrived. He is alive and well, David Njoku.
Right. It's like 11 targets a game.
The running back 2 or flex 1. Mixon at Pitt. Cook at Chargers. Pollard.
So bench 1.
At Miami. Reed at Carolina. So leave the tight ends or leave Likely out. I don't like that. Reed.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Pittsburgh's run defense is just bad. Joe Mixon. I'm starting Joe this week, and I've been with Ernest in the Joe Mixon bandwagon the last 2 years. So I've been starting Mixon all year. So we got to start one,
but I don't know if Reed is gonna play or not.
Yeah,
he is questionable.
So you need to watch that.
I'm probably going the 3 running backs myself.
Probably the running backs, yeah.
Unless Reed is cleared and he's really cleared multiple practices, doesn't look bad. Carolina's defense
start
terrible.
The 3 running backs.
Yeah. Broncos defense versus New England or Green Bay? Green Bay.
Green Bay.
I think Green Bay.
The
Broncos.
Both are good starts.
I think the only upside with the Broncos is they can get turnovers. I just don't know if they turn the ball over that much in this game this week. So, and Green Bay is definitely going to come back with pissed off mood. So, because they flatlined this week. Absolutely face planted last weekend. So, I would go Green Bay.
There you go, Chris Connor. Anything to add for your point of view on the other 2 choices?
Yeah, I bet heavily on Cook, but Chargers have basically mailed it in. They already have their tee times ready, so that would be my starting flex. Defense, Green Bay, though, you can't go wrong either way because New England's offensive line is just shredded right now. And with Cole Strange out, they are on like their 4th, 5th backups. So as I said, either one, flip a coin. Either defense will do fine for you. But Cook, that's my surefire pick because, as I said, the Chargers they've quit. They're getting ready for tea times. They're getting ready to open up Christmas, eggnog. It's a little bit say spiced up, and they don't want to even be there.
Yep, I definitely lean Broncos defense at home. It's a different defense at home. Apparently, they do 1.5 more turnovers at home than they do on the road, and they score 2 more fantasy points at home than they do on the road. I would take the Broncos D. than going to Carolina off of a win for Carolina, even if it's a small win. The defense didn't play terrible, so I would take the Broncos D. Borak, do you want to comment on the last two options before we move on?
Which two?
Just the defense.
Oh,
Sure.
defense. I'm actually going with Green Bay.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
Just Carolina's been awful all year, and they've been giving up turnovers and haven't been able to put up any sort of resemblance of a good offense. So you can count on them to turn the ball over.
We'll hit you again, Dylan, but we're gonna do a fast 30-second take from everybody going across. Well, I'll do the first one while the guys read it. Stroud or Fields? Going Fields, because Stroud's on your IR at this point. One running back, two wide receiver, one flex. I'm gonna do. Let's see. You have Connor against Chicago. You have Ford at Houston. Singletary versus Cleveland. Ayuk versus Baltimore. Waddle versus Dallas. Reed at Carolina. So I'm out on Reed.
I'm
so
out
the other
on
two
Reed.
wide receivers are in. One running back between those three and a flex. I'm playing Connor, and then it's a coin flip on Singletary or Ford. I think either of those guys could have a good day, but I'm going to lean Singletary at home against Cleveland. But Ford may be involved in the passing game more because Cleveland will be behind the whole game. So that's going to be up to you on that one. Borak.
Yeah, I'm going. Jeez, Connor, Ayuk, and Waddle. I don't know. Come on, Fink. Like, do you really need to ask that question? Ayuk and Waddle and Reed.
Yeah,
you're starting Ayuk and Waddle. Ford and Singletary is a toss-up. One thing you can count on for Singletary is he's going to get catches out of the backfield. So if it's a PPR league, I would lean Singletary.
It is. They're both full PPR, 1 point.
Yeah, then I would lean Singletary.
Tight end wise, I think those are all kind of coin flips, but Komet's been a sure starter since Fields is back. I would play Komet against Arizona. And then
if Henry's healthy, I'd play Henry.
I just don't trust that New England's going to be in that game whatsoever. I don't trust
nobody else will throw the ball to.
That's true. Luke, anything you want to add?
I mean, it all depends on Tyreek Hill if he's playing. He was out last week. Waddle went off. So, I mean, obviously, I still start Waddle. He's my wide receiver 3 in most leagues, or my flex. But Waddle, without Tyreek Hill, Waddle is going to see a lot of action. So, Waddle's a lock for me. Cole Kmet, it's either feast or famine with all three of those tight ends. I've gone with Cole Kmet most of the time this year, so I'm just going to stick with Cole Kmet just because him and Justin Fields. He is the most consistent person on the team, is Cole Kmet. So I'll take the consistency. And we're back at the Broncos defense or the Bills defense. I mean, I would say the Bills because, man, that offense without Justin Herbert is just bad. I mean, just bad. I mean, even Austin Eckler couldn't even get anything going for those guys last week. So
he was frustrated too.
It's so bad. So I would take the Bills in that situation.
Hey, the Bills just shut down Dallas.
That's true.
So yeah, I'd go with Ayuk. I'd go with Waddle, of course. I'm going with Reed over in Carolina just because Green Bay's running backs are just beat up. I think you'll have a heavy Jordan Love game. Tight end, I'm going with Henry, only because he's the only guy who it seems Bailey Zappi really trusts a lot. And defense, go with the Bills. As I said, the Chargers, they've mailed it in. They are basically playing for tea times. It looks like they just don't even want to be there.
Crazy what happens the difference it'll look when you play at home than on the road, but we'll talk about it next week. Appreciate the questions, Dylan, and that we're going to hop right back into our last topic in round number 1, which is the most shocking loss of this past week. And I'll tell you what, if you're hanging around, if you're hearing what tonight's episode's about, we're about to hit primetime pick, and we're going to talk about the games this week and the players to watch. So stick around. If you have any fantasy questions, please post them or comment below anywhere, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Twix, and we will get those right back to you. All right, guys, most shocking loss of this past weekend for you was? Borak, I'll start with you.
There's a number of them, but the Titans losing at home. I guess I'll point that one out so everybody else can cover the other games. Just the Texans not having CJ. They didn't have Tank Dell, Nico Collins, no Will Anderson. You're talking about arguably the top 4 players on the Texans team did not play, and you lose that game at home. Like, that's embarrassing. Like, Vrabel should have been fired after that game. You just saw D'Amico Ryans outcoach Vrabel and get that team ready to play, and it was an inspiring game. To come out there, Case Keenum got the nod. I'm glad he did. He's the more steady hand than Davis Mills. But huge win for the Texans. So you got to give them a ton of credit for just coming out and fighting.
It's a great pick. Londo, for you?
I didn't watch any games this weekend.
Ah, man, you just couldn't do it, right? You know, when the
No,
Cowboys.
I caught the Texans game though, and that was phenomenal. I did catch that.
So what you're saying is Borak took your pick, and
yeah, he pretty much did.
Oh, my bad. My bad,
Londo.
I get it. I get it.
I watched that Cowboys game, and that Cowboys game was just horrendous. So I lost interest by the second half.
I thought it was great. It's a great game.
Yeah, I put up Christmas decorations myself, Londo. You're fine.
Yeah.
Chris Connor.
I will say this, and even though I gave you a lot of crap, but to me, the most shocking loss I thought was how do the Falcons lose?
I knew that was going to be it.
And look, I picked the Panthers because I have a soft spot for them. I think, okay, they got to get a win, but still, just the way they played, you think Vrabel should get fired, Borak. I think Arthur Smith should be fired. It's like, how do you screw this up? Your team is literally trying to, fight for a playoff spot. The Panthers are fighting for, I don't know, their second win. I mean, on paper, this should be. You had the lead going into the fourth quarter. How do you screw this up? How? This takes talent, and it was like a fumble, an interception. I'm looking going, holy crap. God, they're bad. This is a loss that Arthur Smith should have just been brought into the office by Arthur Blank and going, you're fired. And not even say anything. Like, I don't care. It's Christmas week. I don't care. If you fired Brandon Staley, finally, why the hell did Arthur Smith keep his job?
Firings if Chris Connor was commissioner of the NFL would be crazy year-round, and I love it. I'm here for it. Cause the turmoil. Luke, most shocking game of this past weekend was?
And it's not even just because I'm Homer. I mean, the Steelers are just bad, man. I mean, the head-scratching loss versus Arizona, I have no idea what that was. Then you have the head-scratching demolishment on Monday night or Thursday night, I can't even remember, to the New England Patriots. And then you have this, you're up 13-0 in the first half, and you lose 30-some to 13. I don't know what is wrong with this team. There's something in the locker room. There's something disconnect somewhere. And I know we don't have an offensive coordinator. I get it. We lost our starting quarterback. I get it. We have 3 NFL quarterbacks on our roster. I get it. This team is just not good. They are not good. Their offensive line is bad. They're wasting their years on the offensive side of the ball. And the defense is not as young as they used to be either. And the NFL really has to take a look at this DeMonte Casey situation because it is ridiculous to me. 4-game suspension for a quarterback that literally threw his wide receiver into harm's way. I don't know where you're supposed to hit a guy anymore because you can't hit him in the shoulders. You can't hit them too low between the knees, and you can't hit him in the hips anymore. So you tell me where Casey was supposed to hit this man to make sure the tackle and the play was made. because I don't understand it. And 4 games is insane to me.
I completely agree. I was not a fan of the call even in real time. I thought a hard hit is a hard hit. I didn't think it deserved the rest of the season. So I'm actually completely with you, Luke. I'm not going to do the what's because I'm actually there with you. So no, kudos to you because I mean you're right. What is the guy supposed to do? He went mid-level. Like he hit him mid-level and the guy dipped. Like that's not his fault. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but that's how I felt about it. So kudos to you. I think the shocking game of the week for me was actually Thursday night. The Chargers just absolutely laying an egg to a team that's laid many eggs themselves this year was just nuts. And it's because Devontae Adams didn't even do much in the beginning of it. Like they were up 5 scores before Devontae Adams finally caught a touchdown pass. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. Have a 60 burger laid on you on Thursday Night Football. And then for your coach to say, it happens, it's just crazier. Like, oh, this is just a regular night. Like, sorry, my guys didn't play.
It's even more crazier when you think they scored 3 points and won an NFL football game. 3 points. Okay? Like, and then you come back to a team that scored 3 points the week before and you give 60, you give up 40 in the first half. Like, oh, you're right. 100% agree.
Yeah, just crazy. Crazy to think about, crazy to watch that game. I just kept watching more scores like, yeah, this is going to stop eventually, right? Like we're going to see this, multiple scores just never stop. The girls never came, that kind of thing. So just absolutely nuts. But those are our most shocking games this past weekend, the upsets. What a crazy week for football. If you stuck around, you're here for Primetime Pick, and we're about to get to that right now. We're going to hit this short commercial break. If you're not familiar, the BCMG Stream Team is still a thing. We have a lot of streamers that are still very active, that are still labeled with the BCMG Stream Team title. Go check them out on Kick, Twitch, or Facebook Gaming. But we have a reel here that's going to show you some of those Twitch and Facebook and Kick streamers. Go check them out today. Let's list them out and show them.
Jill going down the hill, gonna go fetch Jack in his little pill. Jack feeling down and that's pretty bad. Let's go.
Oh, yo, clip that headshot. Nice. No.
A pistol. What the? Okay, that didn't count.
Woo, let's go, baby, clutch it up. Yeah, I like it.
What? No way. Did that precision just kill me?
Let's go!
Nice, Papa!
Papa with the clutch kill at the end. Let's go.
Oh, I missed. That was bad.
Got him.
Nice.
Man, I'm going to go steal their shit.
That is definitely green.
You're dumb and it's orange.
We're both wrong, red.
I could get that solo if I tried it a couple times, but we'll come back to it.
I'm fucking dick right now. Holy shit. Like, I fucking suck right now.
Yeah, I can tell.
Check out those amazing streamers you saw on that commercial break. We are back. Round 2, ITL Primetime Pick'em, Week 16 edition, sponsored by Taquito Express. All you can eat tacos in beautiful Brownsville, Texas, expanding to San Antonio, Texas. Use code TSG at the counter. You get 10% off. All you can eat tacos, $9.99. Down $1. You can eat all you can eat tacos. I think the record was 79 tacos. So if you can eat 79 tacos, your meal is free. Pretty crazy stuff. If you're not familiar with Primetime Pick'em, if you're tuning in for the first time, I'm going to run through the rules for you. If you're listening for the first time, welcome. But Primetime Pick'em, where we talk spreads, we're going to talk some of the trends and look at the teams that are playing, talk about those players you should start. And then, of course, if you have any questions, you have your own opinion, slap those comments. We love those. We'd love to hear what you guys think. Let's get started. Thursday night football. Los Angeles Rams, 4-point favorites against the New Orleans Saints. Rams at home. We start this one off with Borak, week winner.
I think this is going to be a competitive game. I mean, both teams are fighting to get in the playoffs. NFC South is just such a mess, but Saints are definitely still in it. But the Rams are just rolling right now, playing really well. I like the Rams to cover this at home.
All right, Rams covering the spread is the first pick here on ITL. That goes to Londo.
Man. Yeah, I think the Rams are going to cover at home. So give me the Rams to cover.
2 Rams to cover. Chris Conner.
Rams. I mean, you look at in their last 5 games, they're 4-1. The only loss was to Baltimore in overtime, which Baltimore's been steamrolling over people. I think they're a contender. I think they will. They could. I know Borak's going to look at me and go, what? But I think the Rams could actually make it to the NFC Conference Championship game this year. They had the second best quarterback of a division, who I trust.
That one.
They have good offensive, weapons. Give me the Rams. They're covering.
I mean, Chris Conner is really pro Rams right now. We've got 3 Rams pick here on our first game. Just Luke, are you here with us?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, bud.
Okay. Give me MVP Puka Nakua.
You have them to cover.
Yep.
Rams to cover 4 picks in a row. You know what that means. That means we have a rising TSG guarantee, and you can go ahead and put those fingers in there and wave them like you just don't care. The very first one,
no.
Rams -4 hits the TSG guarantee. If you don't know what that means, you contact the General Steve Reisner on Twix. If your parlay does not hit, and the Rams -4 goes on your parlay ticket already automatically. I like the Rams to win and cover in this game too. The Saints are on the outside looking in right now. I think the Rams will solidify their spot in the wild card. I do like the way the Rams are playing football. Everybody is healthy. They're clicking at the right time. You play the right football at the right time. You make a deep run. I like Chris Conner's take on them possibly making a deep run. I'm not going to say they're going to make the NFC Championship yet, but I'm going to say they're on the right track. I have to see more from the defense. I think they leave a lot to be desired on the defensive end of things. I do think that offense is potent enough to compete with some of the best in the NFC. Los Angeles Rams -4. Put them on your TSG guarantee ticket. If you're following along from last week, we went 6-1 on the TSG ticket last week. The only game we missed was Green Bay, and that took a superhero type of performance, a 40-point fantasy week from Baker Mayfield against the Packers. Just outstanding. Had he not done that, Green Bay would have punched it. We'd have had our second big parlay ticket of the year. So go ahead and write that in. Rams -4 across the board. And that takes us to our next game. And we see people dropping like flies here. So we'll take us to our next game. And let's run it for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, the Pittsburgh Steelers are our next game. They'll be playing the day before Christmas Eve, so they'll be playing Saturday. It's a Saturday afternoon game. Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati 1.5-point favorites on the road. We start this one off with Luke. This is your team.
Yeah, it's an interdivisional matchup. The Steelers obviously want this game, but am I really going to say Jake Browning looks legit in that offense? Am I about to say that? He looks pretty good in that offense, but no Jamar. No Jamar. That's kind of tough. But I think Joe Mixon in the fourth quarter was just going to be a huge difference maker. So give me the Bengals. Thor agrees with me. He wants the Bengals too.
Houday gets a first nod from just Luke. Londo, what do you like?
Man, I've been sticking with the Steelers all year. Like, give me the Steelers.
All right, Steelers going to be the pick for Londo, saving us that TSG guarantee pick. That's for sure. Chris Borak.
Yeah, I hope everybody was listening 3 weeks ago when I was hyping up Jake Browning. So I'm sticking with my boy. I just don't see how Pittsburgh's going to put up enough points to beat the Bengals. And Steelers are just banged up, and then you got a suspension in the secondary, injuries in the secondary. I just don't see them slowing down the Bengals. So give me the Bengals to cover 3.5. Sorry, Luke.
There are 2 games a year I call Joe Mixon games, and I get them right on the money. Like I say, hey, this is your Joe Mixon showing. This is one of those games. Joe Mixon, 28-point fantasy performance, calling it now. He's going off this week. Joe Mixon leads the Bengals. Bengals look fantastic going on. Bengals by 2 scores. Again, sorry, Luke. It's just going to be a demolishing. I'm taking Bengals to win on the road. Chris Connor, bring us home on this one.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals. They just look like they believe in Browning. They believe, and even with everything going on with DJ Reader now done for the year, with Jamar Chase probably not playing, T. Higgins is balling. You have the Steelers that look like their wide receivers don't want to play half the time. Do you trust Trubisky or Mason Rudolph? That's just a mess. So yeah, give me the Bengals.
Hey, Ernest, and just one thing to add to this game. If you guys are needing wide receiver help, take a look and see if Tyler Boyd is out there. Because they're saying Jamar Chase is only going to be out 1 week. I do not believe that whatsoever. And Tyler Boyd could help you down the stretch run.
And breaking news saying Tyreek Hill may be out remainder of the season, but back for the playoffs. Just as an FYI before we get to that game. So before we get there. All right. So you have your picks on Cincinnati. Let's move on. We're going to take our talents in our conversation over to the great city of Los Angeles. Let's head over. Los Angeles Chargers versus the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills 11.5-point favorites on the road against those Chargers. It's a Saturday late game. We'll start this one going around the room with Chris Connor.
Is there any, I mean, short of, Josh Allen getting, sick with food poisoning, not be able to play that game, the Bills should just steamroll. I mean, as I said, the Chargers want to just cancel the rest of the season, go play golf. They've already quit on their coach who's been fired. Their GM has been fired. This is a 4-alarm dumpster fire. Give me the Bills. You can even have it plus 15. They'll still cover.
Bills 60% chance of making the playoffs, 68% chance with a win here. I think no doubt about it, they win. Probably going to stomp the Chargers. The Chargers are going to look pretty lackadaisical against a team that's pretty elite or playing elite football. Give me Buffalo to win this by 3 scores. Not close. Borak.
Chargers are still an NFL football team, apparently.
Somewhere.
And they may try this week because they quit on their coach last week. They may actually put forth some effort this week. And 11.5 kind of scares me. So give me the Bills money line. 11.5 is just a lot of points.
Borak shies away, but still keeps the Buffalo pick alive. Londo.
Yeah, Buffalo is going to take this. Give me Buffalo Bills. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to cover that, so I'm gonna stick with money line.
All right, 4 Buffalo picks, and you know what that means? That rising meter for the TSG guarantees just getting brighter and brighter. Just Luke.
Yeah, Bills win. I don't mess with two scores with that, so give me the Bills money line.
There you have it. The Buffalo Bills will be on the TSG guarantee ticket, but what spread will they occur on? Do we like 9.5? I'm getting a head nod from Borak. I need agreement from all 5.
I'm good with 11.5, but all right, we'll go 9.5.
We're going to buy points to 9.5. Are we good with that? Sounds
Yeah,
like
why
we're
not?
good on that. All right, wave those fingers there. Wave 'em like you just don't care. Buffalo minus 9.5 inches. The TSG parlay with the Rams -4, the Bills minus 9.5. We'll let you know what the odds are by the end of tonight's episode. We are cruising here. Primetime pick'em, lots of games. Because of the holiday, they have a lot of games on primetime. Let's move on to the next game, which I know is going to be back and forth on this panel. The Miami Dolphins host the game of the week against the Dallas Cowboys. Miami minus 1.5 at home against the Dallas Cowboys. We'll start this one off with Borak.
Ernest, you know who I'm taking here.
I just have to hear it, Borak.
Cowboys on the road after a demoralizing loss. I don't think they bounce back. I think Dak lost the MVP last week, and it just spirals from here on out. Give me the Dolphins to win at home. Tyreek or no Tyreek, they can't stop Jalen Waddle, and they're not going to be able to slow down that offense. Give me the Dolphins to cover.
Londo.
Of course, Dallas, man.
Dallas money line.
Money line. For sure. I think they're going to want it. I think they're really going to try to push it. So I think they're going to try to come back from that loss. So, yeah, give me Cowboys to win it.
Just Luke.
Oh, you're talking to me? Oh, yeah. Miami. I mean, come on.
Luke's taking Miami in that one with the points, I'm guessing, for 1.5 spread.
Yeah, give me like 3.5, but yeah, sure.
All right. Chris Connor.
This is going to shock you. I'm taking the Cowboys. And I'll point out this. The Miami Dolphins have yet to beat a winning team this year. They are the ultimate fraud team. And without Tyreek Hill, they don't look the same. I think the Cowboys are going to be pissed. It's not going to be too humid or hot now down in Miami. And you know what? I think the Cowboys are going to take this. I think it's going to be an impressive win by the Cowboys.
I'm not shocked by your pick, if that makes you feel better, Chris Connor. I think it's a good pick. I am also going to take the Dallas Cowboys on Christmas Eve, game of the week. I'm going to set myself up for disappointment, and I'm okay with that. Okay. The Dallas Cowboys read the script. It's we get the Buffalo Bills into the playoffs. That's the script. And the Dolphins have to lose for the Bills to have a road or pathway to get to the playoffs. I think, and I've said this on multiple shows, and I'll say it on this one, the refs will favor the Cowboys. It's going to piss off a lot of people. And the Cowboys will stay in this game or be leading the game at halftime, and then they'll pull away in the second half. I like what the Cowboys counter with the Dolphins. I just look at the schedule to back up what Chris Connor said. The Dolphins haven't really beat anybody. So this is their true first test. They're like the Cowboys of the AFC 3 weeks ago. So we will have to see what the Dolphins can do and what they do when they play an actual team that plays back with them. I will say this, the way James Cook looked last week, I mean, Raheem Mostert's going to look like a god if they play like that. So, that's hopefully they can figure that shit out this week. But I'm taking Cowboys to win this game. I'm just saying Cowboys win. It could be a field goal, but Cowboys to win this week. I hope, messy or not, it would be a fantastic Christmas gift. Give me the boys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand here. Okay. I just don't understand. So we shit on the Miami Dolphins because they haven't had an impressive win this year, right? And then we're going to say, on the other hand, that if Dallas beats Miami, it's going to be an impressive win. So you tell me what kind of an impressive win this will be for either.
Well, there's two parts to that. No, there's two parts to that. Because it's not really. There's two parts to it. Number one, the Cowboys actually beat the Seahawks and the Eagles where Miami hasn't. right? Fair.
Okay.
And the Dolphins haven't beaten anybody, but they are a double-digit win team. So similar to like the college football playoffs, when you beat a team that's in the higher seeds or the higher ranks with double-digit wins, you consider them a promising program because they stomp the little guys the whole time. You think, oh, if they're stomping all the little guys, they'll win close ones against the big guys. But if you beat that team, a team that's been stomping all the little guys, then you say, oh, the master of the stompers is the one that's greater. And then that's
So are we gonna say like Dallas is Alabama and Miami is like Bill and Mary? Like, I mean, what are we talking about here?
Obviously Dallas is like
This is
the Texas
ridiculous.
Longhorns.
Okay.
Obviously.
Are the Denver Broncos a good team?
They're a pretty good team, yeah. I think they're B rated.
Okay, well they're in the playoff hunt, right? They're
in the playoff hunt.
winning record.
Correct.
Yeah.
The Dolphins
Yeah.
beat them 7-20.
Yeah.
That was again a different
Up,
Broncos.
You went on earlier in the show saying how good the Denver Broncos defense was. The Dolphins hung 70 on them.
You're bringing up a game from week 4 when Russell Wilson looked like Fat Russ and they didn't even know what football was.
Russell Wilson doesn't play defense.
He still couldn't score points.
They scored 20 points. I mean, they hung 70 on the Broncos. So let's not sit here and say they haven't beaten anybody good. They just destroyed them.
I want to throw this out there. I mean, I wouldn't say the Broncos are good. They're 7-7. They're average.
Like I said, B. They're a B-list team.
Well, I mean, we said the Rams are contenders, and they're pretty average.
I wouldn't
But
go
I didn't
there.
compare them.
There's a whole difference. I mean, the Rams are playing probably a very weak NFC outside of San Francisco.
Oh my gosh, you guys are just
What?
What?
The truth to all of this is that Borak hates the Cowboys. So
there it is.
I
He
do,
hates the
but I
Cowboys, so
have
he-
picked the Cowboys before.
I'm not even. I didn't compare the Rams to the Broncos. So you're just bringing something out of left field. For me, if
No,
you want to
Chris Conner did.
bring the teams I brought up, the Seahawks and the Eagles, and compare them to the Broncos all day, taking the other two teams.
I don't care about the Seahawks. I just know the Cowboys can't stop a run, and the 49ers proved that. The Bills proved that. I just think the Dolphins are a more physical team. So we'll see if the Cowboys show up on the road.
And the Dolphins have losses against teams that actually have talent. So we'll have to see if they can play against a team with talent. We'll move on from that. Denver versus New England is the next game on the docket. Since Borak likes to talk about Denver, we'll start off with him. Denver 6.5-point favorites versus the Patriots. Go ahead, Borak.
Oh.
Well, I'm pretty confident the Patriots aren't going to hang 70 on Denver this
I don't
weekend.
know. Maybe.
No, Zappy's not going to do it. I'm sorry. But I do like that New England is actually playing hard for Coach Bill. Like, they played hard last week and they played well. So I do think that 6.5 is a little high. As we all just said, Denver's mediocre. But I do like Denver to win in Mile High. So give me Denver money line.
Denver Moneyline is the first pick on ITL Primetime Pick'em, game number 5. Londo.
Yeah, give me Denver money line.
2 Denver Moneyline picks, just Luke.
Shit. I mean, I gotta have a good Christmas, so I'm going with the girlfriend's favorite team, the Denver Broncos. -3.5, though.
Please Moneyline as well, and we'll flex to 3.5. Chris
Yeah,
Conner.
yeah, that's.
Oh
yeah,
God,
that's better.
look,
Yeah.
no, I'm telling you right now, go with Denver. I mean, New England doesn't even have a functioning offensive line. They got guys like Connor McDermott, Darian Lowe, Sidney So, you got Bailey Zappi. That offense got shut out by the Chargers. That's all you need to know. They got. If the only reason they scored 17 against the Chiefs was once again Kadarius Toney, Butterfingers Toney, coughed up a pick that cost them, 7 points. No, give me Denver money line. Denver's playing to actually win. Patriots are playing to basically, I don't know, maybe move on from Bill Belichick after this year.
with 4 Denver moneyline picks. That puts me on the hot. And I will also be taking Denver. I like Denver to win this game. Like I said on my previous take, the Denver of now is very different from the Denver of old. I like the defense to hang and keep the shutout on the Patriots. So I'm going to say Denver minus 6.5 is my pick on here. So Denver will enter the TSG parlay. However, the point spread's at 3.5 right now. Comfortable for Luke. Are we good at 3.5? I've got circle heads. 2.5?
No,
Two
I'm
and
good
a
with
half.
six
I'm
and a
great.
half.
We are good at 2.5. So we're gonna keep 2.5 there. So if you're keeping track on your parlay tickets, Rams -4, Bills -9.5, and now Denver -2.5 enters the TSG parlay. Put those fingers in there, wave them like you just don't care. That is a TSG guarantee, courtesy of the General Steve Reisner. That takes our conversation into the holidays now at this point. And again, we wish you a happy holidays from our group, the Sport Gene, as well as Into the Lab. And so let's go to Christmas, and we're going to start off in Kansas City, where the Chiefs host the Raiders. After you open those gifts and after you've eaten some great food, you can turn on the TV and watch the Chiefs playing the Raiders. Chiefs 10-point favorites at home for this game. I'll start this one off. I think this is going to be a bit of a back and forth game to start things off. Both teams will have some tension. It'll be some action going on the offensive side of things. Kansas City at home is hard to bet against. I'm taking Kansas City money line in this game. I don't feel as confident about Kansas City pulling that spread on a holiday game. Kansas City money line's my pick. Chris Connor.
Kansas City. And you know what? I'm actually going to take the money line. Remember, they beat the Raiders 31-17 last time out. It's Aiden O'Connell is still a – I don't care what happened to the Chargers game because that was one team going, yep, we're throwing the whole season. The other team went, yep, let's just, get enough points for fantasy football. This is, in Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, I trust that defense is legit. Give me money line, Kansas City Chiefs, to give me a Christmas gift.
There you go. 2 money line picks for Kansas City. Borak.
The Chiefs they don't blow people out.
Not anymore.
So, I don't know if Kelsey's hitting just the wall of, age is catching up to him, or if he's got an injury that's not being talked about, but he just doesn't look the same.
Doesn't look as swift,
Rice,
right?
Maybe he's distracted. I'm not going to go there, but he just doesn't look the same, like as far as getting open. And they've leaned on Rashee Rice more this past several weeks. But I just don't like them covering 10 points. So give me Chiefs money line.
3 Chiefs money line picks as we go to Luke. What you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. 10's hard because I just don't know what Las Vegas team's going to show up. It could be the 61 or it could be the 3-1. So, and it's an interdivisional matchup. And it's a weird time on Monday. Monday at noon is such a poop time. So give me the Kansas City Chiefs. You could probably, I'd say probably like 6.5. I think I'd be okay with, but 10 just seems a little iffy for the time, interdivision, and I agree with Borak too. That offense just isn't right.
Luke giving us that bottom line there at minus 6.5. I appreciate that. Londo.
By the way, I just want to say you can also watch this game on Nickelodeon. So the NFL is going to just Kansas City Chiefs Raiders game. So NFL is going to just shove out more, Christmas toys and Christmas, NFL stuff in that game. Get ready for it. Lots of that crap, and your kid's going to go, Dad, I want a Patrick Mahomes bobblehead. Can you give me a name for Christmas?
That's exactly how they sound. I appreciate that, Chris. Londo.
Yeah, give me KC, man. Money line.
All right, Kansas City's entering the TSG parlay here, but what is going on? They're -6.5 is the initial proposal. Anybody else have any issues with that?
I like 6.5.
Yeah.
I'm good with 6.5 as well. We'll wave those fingers in the air, wave them like you just don't care. Kansas City -6.5 has entered the TSG parlay. Rams -4, Bills -9.5, Broncos -2.5, and the Chiefs -6.5. That takes us to our Monday afternoon game where we go to the city of brotherly love. Struggling Eagles go in 11.5-point favorites against the New York Giants. We start this one off with just Luke.
Well, I know I called them the F word earlier, but the Giants. Philadelphia by 3.
Philly by 3 is the first pick on the ITL pick'em, primetime pick'em. Chris Borick.
Eagles money line. I'm comfortable with 6.5. I don't think Tommy Cutlets is leading the Giants over the Eagles.
Rondo.
Yeah, give me Philadelphia money line.
Chris Connor.
Eagles. The Tommy DeVito story was nice. I bought into it, but he came back to reality, and this game could be ugly. This could be Eagles pulling away late and turning into like a 2-touchdown win.
Yeah, for fantasy purposes, you play all your Eagles this week. Fly Eagles fly. I'm taking the Philly money line as well. I heard 6.5 as the initial pitch there. Do we want to go higher or lower?
Nah, I think I'm pretty good on 6.5 too.
I like Philly 6.5 as well. Philadelphia Eagles 6.5-point spread enters the TSG guarantee. Here we go. Wave those fingers. They're waving like you just don't care. Put them on your parlay ticket. We'll do a full recap at the end. We're going to our final primetime game, which means our final full video to host here is going to be the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are going up against the Baltimore Ravens in the Monday Night Football. That is going to be one hell of a game. I'm very excited for this game. San Francisco 5-point favorites against the Baltimore Ravens. This is probably the true game of the week. This is going to be the game everybody watches. You'll hear a lot of commentary saying a Super Bowl preview between the two top teams in both conferences. We'll go around the room backwards just to give all fairness. Chris Connor, who do you have in this game?
You know what? Hell with it. Baltimore Ravens. They're playing. It's Christmas Day. It's a weird time at 5:15 p.m. It's going to be out in the East Coast. Right now, the Ravens are cooking. They are just a hot team right now that seems to be getting its, everything going well for it. And I think Lamar Jackson's going to shred that defense for the 49ers.
All right, what? Baltimore money line is the first pick here. Absolutely the right cue. So let's just tee it up.
What?
Hey, I don't even know what you're here. Lamar Jackson is right now your MVP of the NFL.
Stop.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Why not? I mean,
I think he's number 3.
Single-handedly carrying that team at times when they've lost every running back under the sun. He loses, Andrews, and he's still, going strong. That, give him credit. I've never been a big Lamar Jackson fan, but right now, he is just a force right now in the NFL, and he would have my MVP pick.
Okay. All right. So, Baltimore Ravens money line's the first pick. Londo, who do you like?
Give me San Fran.
With points?
Money line.
Money line. San Fran money line for Londo on this pick. We are opposite on this panel. I didn't want this on the parlay, so I'm glad. Just Luke.
I don't pick rat birds. All right. Give me the San Francisco 49ers. All right. This is going to be a nice wake-up call for those boys in the AFC North to get a reality check. No more Keontae Mitchell He's out for the rest of the year. He's done. All right. Lamar Jackson has had one good throw this year, and it was the last game. All right. Let's face it. They're going to get a reality check this weekend. So give me the San Francisco 49ers.
Niners -5. So we have a Niners spread, Niners money line, Baltimore money line. Chris Borak.
All right, it's Keaton Mitchell. Give the guy a little
I was
bit
close.
of credit.
I was close.
He's watching The Matrix, so he's all about Keanu Reeves right now. So
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh, come on. What do you expect from a Steelers fan? Come on, there's a little bit of, let's see.
I get it. I was sticking up.
And envy.
I feel bad for the kid. I mean, guy gets an opportunity. He was playing really well, explosive player, and went down with a terrible injury. I do like Chris Connor's call on Lamar Jackson MVP vote, but right now I have him second in the race, and that is to Brock Purdy. And I think this
what?
This win this weekend will cement Brock as the MVP of the league this year. And they are going to cover this 5-point spread easily as they beat down the Ravens.
Ernest, I did
What?
Borak, I'll say this. I don't think Purdy's even like the number 2 MVP vote on his own team. I'd go McCaffrey and then Trent Williams. Hell, I even throw Samuel, Brendan Ayuk. I think Purdy's just, the guy.
Those are great players, important players, but as we all know, the MVP race is a quarterback race. And you have to give Brock Purdy credit. He's played well all year, limiting turnovers, making the right plays, and they're the best team in the NFL. What more can you ask him to do?
Yeah.
But he's not even the best player. That offense goes as McCaffrey goes. McCaffrey goes down, then all of a sudden they're not that juggernaut. Purdy all of a sudden has to put more on his shoulders.
For me, it's just one guy that touches the pigskin the most, right? And that's Brock Purdy. Like he is playing. He has to be the general of the best team in the NFL, and that's why he would be the candidate from that team. That's the only reason I would give it to him, if that was the case. But for me, my Monday Night Football pick is absolutely Baltimore. So I'm taking Baltimore money line on this game. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and take. I don't as confident as I am to take Baltimore in the point. So Baltimore +5. I do think Baltimore plays very similar to San Francisco in the run capacity. They don't nearly have the passing capacity like they have in San Francisco, or nor the weapons. But I am excited to see an offensive prowess kind of go up against the defense, see what Baltimore's offense really is about against a defense that is pretty elite in the NFL. It's going to be either a big wake-up call, or it's going to be, there's actually somebody with San Francisco that can play football with them. And so I'm intrigued to see that. Christmas night game, very weird Christmas night game. So I'm going to chalk it up that some of the weird things happen. And of the other two games, this is the game that has most likely to have an upset. So taking Baltimore in this game. And that wraps up our primetime pick'em. We have 5 on the TSG guarantee parlay. That's super exciting. We're going to talk about what those are at the end of tonight's episode. Stick around, guys. We're going to keep going here into round number 3. We're going to cue up the intro. And we're going to go right into fire round picks. Let's do it. ITL fire round picks. If it's your first time listening, we go right through these and just give you the pick of who we think is going to win. We start off in Houston, Cleveland, 2.5-point favorites on the road. Borak.
Come on, give me Case Keenum.
Houston's the first pick. Londo.
Houston.
Just Luke.
Houston.
Chris Connor.
Give me the Browns. Myles Garrett is going to knock out Case Keenum.
I was choosing violence to start. I'm just going to have.
It may be funny to you, motherfucker, but it's not funny to me. Okay?
You stop it. You stop it. Case
Wow.
Keenum. Just stop it right there. I'm taking Houston in this game. That's 4-1. Houston has the favorable, but does not go on to the TSG guarantee point favorites against the Arizona Cardinals at Soldier Field. We start with Londo.
Come on. Bears.
Bears get the first pick from Londo. Chris Connor.
Londo. I
Just choose the Bears, Chris.
I agree with the Bears. It's sad, but I'm going with the Bears.
Nice.
Bears get 2 picks now on this pick. Chris Borak.
Can I take the under?
No, you have to pick one.
All right. Give me the Bears.
Chicago Bears 3 picks, and that gets over to Luke, and we're in danger zone here.
There is no danger zone because I will take the Bullets and I will pick the Arizona.
Thank you.
Arizona Cardinals get the pick. I'm taking the Bears to win this game as well. Chicago is playing well. Fields played for his job, so Chicago gets the win here for me. 4-1, Chicago wins this one as well. That moves on to what we're probably labeling on tonight's episode as... Atlanta 1-point favorites against the Indianapolis Colts, who will be without JT and also possibly without Zach Moss and Michael Pittman. So it might be a really tough game to watch offensively for these teams. We start this one off with Chris Connor. And no Drake London.
You know what? I'm going with the Colts. Tyler Heineke, I'm not going that far. From what I've heard, Jonathan Taylor still might be able to make this game. So give me the team that actually seems to know how to win.
Indianapolis gets the first bid on here. Luke?
Give me the guy with the better mustache, Gardner Minshew.
All right, Indy gets 2 picks on this game. Londo?
Yeah, give me the Colts.
3 Indy picks. I got a scratch in my throat. Go ahead, Borak.
Nope.
Just kidding, man. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts as well. Borak, who do you have?
So background, I am 0-15 on picking Falcons games this year. And we are all screwed.
Oh, no.
Because I'm taking the Colts.
Colts. Oh, man. Now I got to put it on the parlay, too. Indianapolis Colts Monday line going on the TSG parlay.
We break the streak this week.
Borak breaking the streak. Wave your fingers in. Wave them like you just don't care. Even if you're not confident about it, everybody wave those fingers. That's right. Indianapolis Colts money line enters the parlay, but we are riding an 0-15 Borak on that parlay now. Good luck to us all. Light those candles with prayers. Christmas miracle happening on ITL. Now, this game was second for snoozer of the week, but let's pop it on the screen. Jets 3-point favorites against the Commanders at home. I'll start this one off. I like the Jets to win this game. I think the Commanders are tanking and trying to continue to tank. They have not been playing great football. Getting a lot of garbage time stats. So I'm taking the Jets to win this at home, and I don't think it's going to be pretty. Something very similar to the Carolina-Atlanta game. So Jets at home. Londo.
Yeah, give me the Jets.
2 Jets picks. Borak.
Yeah, Sam Howell has regressed really poorly in the second half of the season. And I agree with you guys. Given the Jets, I think that defense is going to make some plays, and I like the Jets at home.
Chris Connor.
Oh, God. Jets, but I'm not comfortable. Can 2 teams try to tank at the same time? And we might get our first tie. We might get a tie this game. So can I bet on the tie? No? All right.
You can. You get one
I'm
tie.
betting on the tie. I am betting on the tie. I refuse.
Chris Connor is using his tie pick.
Yes, I refuse to pick either team in this game where they're both tanking.
We almost had a tie last week, actually. What game was
Jets
that in overtime?
Have been playing hard.
They haven't.
I don't think they've been tanking.
It's not the Jets, but the Commanders have been for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Luke, are we also putting this on the parlay?
Well, I already used my tie pick this year, so
You did.
so that kind of sucks. So it's really gonna be Sam Howell versus Trevor Simeon versus Zach Wilson versus whoever they decide to pick up off the goddamn Jets. All right, so oh yeah, sure, give me those goddamn Jets.
Yeah,
Hey, hammer the under on this game.
big time.
38.
I don't know if it'll hit 20 points in this game. We actually don't have to put it on the parlay because of the tie pick. So New York Jets 401 are favorites for this game. Not going on the parlay for us. And that takes us over to Minnesota. Mini versus Detroit. Detroit 3.5-point favorites on the road, which I thought was pretty ungenerous of Vegas. We'll start this one off with Borak.
Yeah, this is disrespectful.
It is.
I'm thinking the Lions.
Yep. Detroit's the first pick here. Londo.
Yeah, Detroit.
2 Detroit picks here, Luke.
Lions.
I would be lying to you if I wasn't picking Detroit as well. That's 4 Detroit picks, and that takes us over to Chris Connor.
Can't believe I'm saying this. Minnesota Vikings. Brian Flores is going to pull basically everything in the kitchen sink, and it's the Lions. They always seem to do this to me. They'll get on a nice little run, then they'll lose to like Green Bay. Go, what the hell was I thinking? So yeah, I this is just to me. They lost to the Bears 28-13, so I can't trust the Lions. Give me, I hate to say it, the Vikings.
Vikings getting the pick, saving the TSG parlay is what I think he's really doing, but I'll take that he wants Minnesota to win also in this game. And that takes us to Chris Connor's favorite team, Carolina Panthers versus the Green Bay Packers. Packers 5-point favorites on the road. We'll start with you, Chris Connor.
Packers. Although if they lose this game, Joe Barry might get fired, strangled, shot, and hung because they are pissed off right now in Green Bay with him and his defensive calls. But I think he saves his job for at least this week. Packers by 5.
Packers get the first bid here on ITL pick on Borak.
Packers.
We got 2 Packers picks, just Luke.
Packers.
We got 3 Packers picks, Londo.
Packers.
Londo, you love yourself some NFC North. I don't even know why I ask you on this one.
I don't know why.
I'm taking the Packers as well. So wave those fingers in the air, wave them like you just don't care. The Packers have entered the TSG guarantee on a money line basis. We are not taking a spread on this game, unless the group feels like they want to. Do we like? No. We are all saying no here on this one. Green Bay money line enters to the TSG guarantee parlay. We'll go over the odds in just a moment, and that takes us to Tennessee. Tennessee versus Seattle. Seattle 2.5-point favorites on the road. Londo.
Tennessee.
You say Tennessee?
Yeah.
Tennessee gets the first big pick here on this game. Borak.
I don't see the Titans recovering from that loss last week. Give me the Seahawks.
Seattle gets that pick there. We're split on this panel. Just Luke?
Give me Seattle. Without Will Levis, I don't know how good Tennessee will be. So give me Seattle.
I am also taking Seattle in this game. Chris Connor, wrap us up on this one.
Seattle. I feel bad for Will Levis. He's getting basically his brains beating because that offensive line can't block the crap. And say what you want about Seattle, their defense can get after you when they feel like it. So yeah, Seattle.
Seattle gets 4-1 picks here and does not go on the TSG parlay, but probably for the best. You never know with these kind of things. And that takes us to our final game, final game on the fire round pick'em, but also the final game of Week 16, and that takes us to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay versus Jacksonville might be a sneaky good top 5 game this week because both teams need it. Both teams in Florida. Let's go, Borak. Wrap us up with your final pick on this one. Tampa Bay versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville 1-point favorites.
Been calling this one all year too. The Jaw Frauds are going to lose another game on the road to Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield. Give me the Buccaneers.
The Jaw Frauds. I love it. Just Luke.
Um. Ugh. Am I really gonna say Baker's gonna win 2 in a row?
Yeesh.
Yeesh. Give me the Jags.
All right, Jags. We are split 1-1 on this panel. Chris Connor.
Can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm taking Tampa Bay. Trevor Lawrence has been sacked 32 times. How the hell can they not protect him on both tackle spots? It's just they gotta get him killed. So yeah, give me Tampa Bay, and I think Trevor Lawrence has to go out in the offseason, demand give me somebody who can actually block.
All right, Londo.
Yeah, give me Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay here. I am also going Tampa Bay in this game. I think Tampa Bay takes care of business. Baker Mayfield continues his ride. Started off real hot, got cold, come back real hot. We'll see what happens at the end of the year. But Tampa Bay in this game. And that is the end of tonight's episode for our Fire Round Picks. Long episode. We've been averaging about an hour and a half now. We appreciate all you who stuck around and been watching. And for all those who engaged early with your fantasy football questions, we're going to go over the TSG Guarantee Parlay in just a moment. Before we do that, let me go ahead and do sign-offs for everybody as we enter the holiday season. We'll start off with Londo. Tell the people where they can find you.
Y'all can find me on Twitter at Londo4292. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for having me on, Aaron.
Of course, brother. The producer, the man behind the scenes, now on camera. I really appreciate you. Looking forward to your new stuff happening in the new year. Let's go over to Just Luke.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Hertz2282. Ernest, appreciate it as always, but wishing you and your fam and all family of ITL a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Remember, tip your waiters, tip your waitresses. Be a good person in the holidays. You don't know who's having a bad day, all right? So just be a kind person. Great holiday season, guys. Well,
always appreciate the kind words, Just Luke. Always appreciate you taking care of the community. Let's go over to Chris Connor.
You can check me out once again, lastcallpodcast.com. You also can check me out on Twitter, on Instagram, and as Facebook. It's Last Call Chris W. Chris C. And we're going to be talking some boxing before the holidays. A big fight card this December 23rd. It's Anthony Joshua, Otto Wallen, Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker, Lyndon Arthur versus Dimitri Bivol, triple header on pay-per-view. And Ernest, once again, thank you for everything this year. It's been a blessing being on your show, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody here on Into the Lab podcast.
Well, I appreciate the kind words there, Chris. I appreciate that greatly. Stick around. I got some last-minute words as well. Chris Borak, also, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on X at ClutchCity52 if you want to hit me up, ask me fantasy football questions. Happy holidays to everybody. I hope you guys have a great Christmas and Happy New Year. And good luck to everybody in their fantasy football playoffs and championship runs. And see you guys next week.
Absolutely. And TSG Guarantee Parlay comes out at 41-1 to hit, which I think is a phenomenal parlay play this week. So we will list those numbers as we release our episode on Thursday morning. And of course, from the bottom of my heart to everybody on this panel, I really appreciate the hell out of all of y'all for being a part of this season, right? This season has been fantastic, been a new crew, a new dynamic, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year to everybody. We will be on next Tuesday, so we're not leaving. We're not taking a week off. We will be on right after Christmas. I don't know if the sports scientist will be on, but I will definitely be on, and I will make sure that we cover what's happened over Christmas break and then what's going into the New Year's games. But thank you so much, everybody, for not only your support, but all of your wishes to my family as we've gone through some of the sicknesses and also some of the fun time bets and some of the extra support you've given to our show and to our company. Really appreciate all of you this holiday season. Celebrate it just in thanks to all of y'all. So be safe out there. Enjoy it with the family. Enjoy the games as much as you can. If you don't need to bet, don't bet. Enjoy it. And good luck to your teams. Good luck to your fantasy teams. We love all y'all. Have a great and happy holiday. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Adios, guys.